What's up, guys? Vince Ryder here, and yeah, welcome back to VinzTalk, where I talk to you VTuber wise and give you some news, give you this and that, and pretty much everything else. I just happen to record at a time where I'm now better, but it's hard to tell. It really hard to tell. Once it's nighttime, I start coughing, yawning, and all that. I don't even know at this point. The whole entire reads that I've been doing has been with cough candies. Like without cough drops, I would not get these reads out. And it's been tiring because a lot of times I'm just like, I just want to record. Can I not cough? But it's gonna happen for sure. Okay. By the way, pretty much a little announcement here. I'm gonna be at SAC Anime 2000 and yeah, pretty much spring SAC Anime Spring 2023. Okay, because there's a bunch of SAC animes like SAC Anime Winter, maybe Summer, and yeah, I'm gonna be there. I don't know. I just want to put that announcement. So I don't know about the amount of videos I'm gonna have for next time. One thing is for sure that I really do want to do that collaboration that I've been talking about. Which is basically a podcast. I'm gonna make it in a way where it's just a phone call. It's simplistic, nothing crazy, but yeah, pretty much just a short kind of podcasty. Well, not podcast, but I call this a podcast. I think it pretty much it's just me talking and just announcing the news and whatever. And yeah, I haven't done one last time because again, I'm sick and just the amount of times I was coughing and stuff like that, it was so hard. So here I am right now actually doing this Vince Talk for you guys and pretty much yeah, that's all for now and hopefully as it's getting warmer here in California. I know, a surprise, right? It was literally raining for weeks and weeks, and I'm just confused of like, okay, like what's happening? Weeks on weeks of rain. It's not supposed to happen like this. It's not supposed to, okay? But apparently it's like just like how cold it is and like the heat is supposed to come. Where is it? Like I know it's like early spring, but this I am so sick of the cold. I am not a cold person. I would not survive in the cold. If it was like, zero, like, degrees or something, or 10 degrees, yeah, I would die. I would not survive in Chicago, in Michigan, or any of the colder areas, okay? For sure. Like, I don't know how I would survive. But, yeah, we are back. A couple news here and there. Some serious stuff that I just want to get out really quick. And I mean serious. Um, but before that, like the with the serious news, the one that is like something that I guess that I am very to talk about is the Nashville shooting, which I had this whole thing in my head discussing, but my prayers go out to the ones that suffered the mass shooting in Nashville. I don't know how to word it in a ways because I don't want YouTube. It's not that not the sense of like monetizing my stuff. It's just that whenever I don't know the boundaries nowadays with YouTube. YouTube is like either hey you're not allowed to say this and that, but you're also not allowed to talk about this and that. And they put a community guideline strike on me. They put like in me being an easy target. I'm just like I don't know what to do. Look, I don't cuss on YouTube. But this is just ridiculous. Speaking of cussing, I do cuss on my other channel, which is my second channel. I made a couple of videos there, which is surprising. I was going to make an update video like, hey guys, I'm not going to put anything here. So that was, something that I forgot to really put in the beginning. But yeah, so the mass shooting, it was sad, this what's going on in like, in schools nowadays, something like that. I remember seeing the video in it from No Jumper, of course, of like it was a kids like school or like some pre-K or whatever, and this teacher had like a bulletproof house or something. It was like another cubicle for old kids to hide in there, and it's bulletproof, and it's kind of sad that this, it has to come to this basically. So also I just woke up. Sorry, my voice sounds raspy at the moment. But yeah, that's kind of like what's going on within the news of this, and pretty much I think I had like this whole conversation as well that I deleted, but I guess I'm somewhat gonna talk about this kind of fact about this whole information. How the shooter is like, part of the, you know, my community, the LGBT plus community, and it's kind of like an ongoing thing within that I'm seeing within news outlets like this when it comes to shooters that are from this community, and it's sad. I'm not sure what's really going on. I'm not sure why. The same thing with the who is it the with that. This was years ago. Dave Chappelle, when he was performing, there was this person that identifies as bi or something, and tried to clobber him with a knife or some or with on stage, and it's one of those, like, people within, look, there's bad apples within all communities, and we have to really hold this accountable within our own community, because I do represent within the LGBT plus community, but a lot of times it's just what's happening. Okay, that's what I'm just wondering. The shooter being identifies as trans, and also does this kind of thing. It's just it's horrible. In a Christian school, like, what's up with people within Christian society? Like, why do they deserve like certain amount of hate? All because they're Christian, all because they don't accept this and that or whatever. But they're good people. As a person that goes to church, like, is like, these kind of like hate crimes or something like that. They're doing, they do nothing. And I'm the type of person that I am. I don't, man, how to look. I don't condone any of this. Maybe because I'm not really a news outlet, and I can't be the outspoken one because I'm just a YouTuber, talking about romances and stuff like that. But for certain societies that are good, like within the Christian community, it's just crazy how this happened. You got people saying, like, oh, they deserve it or this and that or whatever because they're transphobic or whatever. That doesn't mean that their kids get in danger within schools like this. It's not right. I don't know. I'm being outspoken a bit, but that's how I do it in these Vince talks. It's a place where I, you know, I speak out. I speak out about who I am in the Vince talk. I revealed who I am. I made, decisions. I talk about, certain things that happen in my life through Vince talk, and here I am. And it's always going to be established that way. Vince talks is one of the most important kind of, segments within my channel that I ever have, because it helps me share serious stuff, you know, serious stuff going on. I think the VinzTalk podcast, if it ever launches, if I ever get my first collab, which I'm working on, is mostly a fun kind of like, low key, and also getting to know the guests kind of segment. But for this one in my channel, this is serious. This is about my life and my thoughts. But most of all, the important things of like whatever is going to happen to me, whatever is going to happen to the world we live in. It's more than just me speaking the news and stuff like that. It's me speaking up of like, certain things that are just not right. That are not right within this, whatever community, or, what I see basically through my own judgment in a professional way, because there's a lot of things in my mind that I'm starting to notice, things that I know that I will get canceled once again for. But yeah, my prayers go out to the people that got killed in the Nashville shooting. It's really sad. In a freaking preschool, in a Christian preschool. It shouldn't, like, it's sad. It's really sad, and it's devastating. Like, stuff like this, like, it's out of control. I'm not trying to put lines or trying to point the finger at anyone, but I'm just saying, like, America needs to fix this. Something needs to fix this. And in that, let's talk about this whole TikTok ban, which never happened. A lot of people were making like TikToks of like, oh man, did TikTok get banned? No, it didn't. Okay, I don't really see that happening, but it didn't. It's like, then there are people making videos like, hey, it's March 27th. Why we're still here? You know what I mean? Another one. Oh yeah, this is a serious one, a scary one. Probably, I wouldn't say like scarier than the first news that I talk about, if you know what I mean. But we just talked about it a few like seconds ago. But Chris Chan got released. This is just insane. That like, okay, so Chris is just out there, only served like a few days in jail for doing the most heinous crimes, which I will not say because I think I already had enough for that freaking Nashville talking when I, like what Chris did to his mother. And so he okay, like, and also like the biggest crime is like Chris utilizing the LGBT plus community to his advantage. Okay, something that most people don't know about, which is something that I despise Chris of. And I remember making a video about Chris with my boy Stefan, my co-host, that we talked about the whole Chris thing, and I was going ham. I was going ham talking about this. It's like the most inhumane thing that Chris did, and I was just like, going at it. It's somewhere in there in the catalogs, but man, I honestly don't know. Okay, hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. But Chris, hachu to you, okay? Because that sneeze is for, I don't know. It's like, so I'm trying to think like where's Chris gonna end up in? Homeless or stuff like that. This news was like, a few days ago and stuff like that. And I'm pretty curious of like what is, because he can't go back to his house with his mom. The mother's like what, 80 something at this point. And Chris is, like, I don't know, like still a house arrest or whatever. I don't know the details. All I know is Chris is released, and this is sort of like the most perfect time to go to the moon, to go to Mars, because I don't want to be in this planet with this guy. Okay, I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm oversaturating, but you know what I mean. Other than that, moving on, I guess we're going to the gaming news because, that's just all the stuff. I'm one of those people like, it feels like this whole segments of me talking about Nashville, talking about Chris. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just leave it here. Okay. Leave it to your interpretation of it, because the thing is that maybe, yes, it's true. Maybe it's true that a lot of people don't even watch these VinzTalks, but there's a part of me that most of them that are going to watch this and, assume my character. I don't know. Let me tell you, all the stuff I said it. Other than that, I'm about to say some more about this whole Eshop deal going on with Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS. Nintendo Wii U, Nintendo 3DS. Okay. Listen, Nintendo don't give no damns about no freaking, like, preserving their games. And you got many of these big creators talking about, like, yeah, you might as well just pirate it. Just pirate it. And let me tell you something. Me being in the emulation game for the longest, it feels like the longest because the amount of games I've been playing. It all started with Dolphin, and it all started with the PSP emulator, and so many emulators that I have. Last one is just PS4 emulator, so I'm thinking of getting that. Okay, I gotta fix up the PS3 emulator because that's a headache. PlayStation emulators are something else, let me tell you. But other than that, yeah, eShop and Nintendo. Listen, I saw that video that Gerard made. Speaking of Gerard, I actually saw the interview of him doing the video that he made with Beat 'em Ups and also Bob Wolf. And it was on the Nintendo podcast for like PAX, I believe. PAX. Speaking of PAXes, what's up with PAXes is back. It hasn't been out there really big or anything like that. I didn't see any cool things at all in PAXes. I could have. But again, with the mask, I'm sorry. Like, it's 2023. There's cons here that I'm going in California where masks are recommended. But then you have to have like, oh, you need to wear. No, we don't. People can wear or not wear. If I want to wear, that's my decision. If I don't want to wear, that's my decision as well. But PAX, they just decide to live in the past. Once again, I just have to get that rant out because no one is going to rant about it. I'm going to rant out about it. You know what I mean? And from this particular PAX itself, I'm not sure if the numbers are high or anything, but it seems like a good time. I haven't been in PAX in a while, but yeah. What is it? Gerard went to PAX and also like talked about the whole thing about, G4. I forget what he said about G4 when he quitted. He said something about like how it really just wrecked his life. Sponsors were pulling away. And it was crazy how he made that video of spending all his money on like, Wii U and the 3DS games. He even said like, I never thought he would realize about emulation at all. It makes sense why he wouldn't mention that within the 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 video he made. Like, but he did say like, yeah, people can just emulate it and stuff like that. And I'm like, see what I mean? The same thing with BMS and Nintendo podcast, making that podcast about if emulation is legal or not. And there's this other person, what was it, Arlo, talking about piracy is not called piracy anymore within gaming. It's just called emulation. It should be a moral thing, and I agree. It is, in my sense, knowing that I can come back to old games and stuff like that. Coming back to the newer stuff, when you get to the PS4 era and the Switch era, maybe that's a little questionable, most of the times. And I do not condone piracy at all. But that is, of course they would, because at this point, why? Who are you gonna watch it? The thing is that the same thing. I think I said, or what many people said about the whole HBO deleting their whole cartoon catalog, their whole cartoon list. There's many cartoons from not indie developers, indie directors that created these cartoon shows, indie artists, and there's no way to watch them anymore because it's not on HBO and it's not in YouTube. So guess where they have to watch it? They have to watch it in a pirate website. That's the only way to actually get access on these shows. The thing is that the internet itself, from where you see it, could be a whole entire sanctuary, could be a graveyard for different things, but you want to see those things, so they become an archive, the Internet Archive. And I believe the Internet Archive is not just the Internet Archive, because there's actually a website called the Internet Archive, but the whole entire internet, Google anything, it's the freaking archives. That's for sure. So, yeah, pretty much, RP to the 3DS and Wii U shop. I think they were back like just only a few days ago. I'm not sure what that's what about, but they're going to close it down anyways. And as a person that, I'm going to be honest, I do not own the Wii U or the 3DS, never owned one. But I witnessed some games there that I'm like, I could have played this when it was out. I could have. And the thing is that some of these games and stuff like that also the 3DS games and the Wii U games that are on the Switch, they're still brand new. They still have potential. They could have been anyone developing games. There's literally people developing games for the Game Boy and also for the NES and stuff like that. But for this one, damn. But RIP to the 3DS and, Wii U eShop. I bet the Switch is going to have the same fate when Switch 2 comes out, because that's definitely is out there. The Switch 2. So what's going to happen to the Switch? Is it going to be the same thing? Are we going to repeat history, Nintendo? Does Nintendo ever care about their games? I heard about a lot of games being delisted, and that's just wrong. Anyways, moving on. E3. So E3 is suffering at the moment. They're pretty much, they don't have anything. E3 is gone. E3 is canceled. That's basically what I'm saying. And it's pretty much interesting that E3 itself, like, listen, I grew up actually just watching E3. Never have I been there. I don't have that money. I'm not part of the industry. I could have. But E3 is, a place where I always know that the biggest games, the best games, whether it's big or small, can come in and show their stuff and prove themselves and actually make history within the gaming culture. And they just gone. Now Summer Game Fest is taking over. And E3, I still remember that moment when this other, I forget his name, this YouTuber celebrity that actually came in there and did a whole entire, what was it? He did a segment. I keep saying segments a lot. I'm trying, here I am with my word ammo that I'm losing. But yeah, this famous creator, man, I know his name. It's just one name, and I forgot about it because I don't even watch the guy. I haven't watched him in forever. He usually goes to Venice Beach and starts longboarding or whatever. Goes traveling out there. Now he's van traveling. He used to be part of a couple, like it was like GF versus BF. That guy. And he screwed up with his his little segment within the EA announcements for E3. And he was awkward, and I'm just like, ugh, that's just hard to watch, But yeah, I still remember them. I still remember also Snoop Dogg, um, battling other content creators playing Battlefield in the E3. That was actually in the EA booth for Battlefield. That was the most badass moment I ever seen. Let me tell you. Um, Let me see here. Also, what is this? Where we put Jordan? No, 10 podcast. Oh yeah, a couple games closing down. The multiverses is official. It's closing down. What's next? Five Guys? I mean, not Five Guys. Fall Guys. Five Guys. Fall Guys. Fall Guys could be the next one. But another game that is closing, that is in the mobile space, which is not a surprise. Many mobile games tend to actually shut down, and that's a reoccurring thing when they're like 2 or 3 years old. That this other game was closing, and I remember, and I was like, damn, Exo's Heroes is closing down. Like, damn, just like that. At least I got a few more months to actually play it a little bit, but still, like, of course it was. And for Multiverses, a game that was actually at some point what made people talk about, like, this is better than um Super Mario Bros, Smash Bros Ultimate. And literally within the comparison or anything like that, it sort of seems like that in ways because Smash Bros is like the game that also Multiverses is inspired by. Multiverses took that spot from Smash Bros, and now they're slowly disappearing away. It's kind of sad. For a Multiverses for that hype, and now it's just gone. It's only a matter of time to check it out before it closes. I'm just saying. Um, Moving on. Also, gaming influencer Alana Pierce is going to be boxing, which is something that I always see her as like a boxing, or maybe something involving like when it comes down to strength, because I remember seeing like many parts of Alana Pierce and she's buff, but her going into boxing is the most badass moment, even though she's going into this in the most nonchalant way, which I don't blame her. She's not coming into this like, yeah, F this other creator that I'm boxing for the amount of clout. No, she's not like that. I'm not saying there's many people within boxing because I'm not into boxing. I don't freaking know. Okay. Yes, I do know about the KSI and the Logan Paul and blah blah. These YouTube creators. It's not something I really cared about. I literally just discovered who was it? Sold something like this other Filipino boxer that is also gonna be boxing, that is pretty well known out there, but not getting a lot of attention or something like that. But also, Alana Pierce, like I never pictured her to be in the boxing ring at all out there. So it's kind of surprising that this is sort of happening. And also how it's like beginning to, prevalent within the boxing community that, yeah, we got Alana Pierce coming in. A person that I always thought that she was like, a homebody, stays home and pretty much I never see her like, I never noticed her about being the gym type. But all that is about to change. Now she's entering in the ring. It's kind of crazy, especially with who? Mika Burton, I believe. Two other creators that I didn't know was going to be boxers, was going to be active, was going to be anything involving sports or anything like that. But apparently all that has changed. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it could be Mika Burton. She said Mika. All I can think about is, oh, Mika Burton? That's literally all I can think of, okay? I don't know. Moving on. Let's get into some animation news. This one is going to be complicated in many sense, so listen carefully. Because that's the best thing you can do. I have to actually speak carefully when talking about this one. Because, listen, I'm not trying... Oh, there's a bell ringing. I'm not trying to actually be like some kind of like creator that is just sort of starting controversies at anywhere. Okay? Sorry, some doorbell. I wonder if I can check that. You won't know once I edit this out, by the way. Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, is a new show. Not show. Is it a show? It's a movie. Okay, it's a movie coming up. I don't know if it's like this, a competitor for the new Ariel, My Little Mermaid movie, which still gets a lot of controversy, a lot of dislikes. But this one happens to be, Ariel. The actual Ariel. I'm talking about the white Ariel. And paint her as a villain. Of course, they would do that. And also poking fun. It's either, here's the thing. It's either poking fun within the new Ariel movie or trying to make Ariel evil to actually continue the you-know-what narrative or whatever. of how like every white person is a villain or whatever, which is ridiculous. But yeah, Ariel is the actual Ariel. We found her. We found her, and she is in the Ruby Gillman Teenage Crack. Listen, I'm sorry, I call it the Ariel movie. I call it the actual Ariel movie. To be honest, I don't. Who the hell is Ruby Gillman? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, Teenage Kraken. Wait a minute. So it's not about the mermaids? The name confuses me. Okay, a little bit. But yeah. Apparently Ariel is goody. So there's two Ariels now. The black one being, I guess, the good one. That is in the what was it, like the movie of the what Disney's live action BS is. And also the Ariel in Ruby Gillman. Will I do a comparison of like who is the best Ariel? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know what to tell you. Moving on, I did my review for Lackadaisy. Hope you guys check that out. I go into it a little bit, something like this and that, and just my thoughts, nothing crazy. And I really enjoyed it. It's something big, and there's a lot of history from Lackadaisy, especially for something I never thought I would be into. It's not following the whole trends of like Japanese and or Korean kind of created stuff, you know, and pretty much all of that stuff is cool and everything, and it's not following the trends of like I'm trying to think of other trends itself like that are just that specifically because a lot of American animations, especially when it comes to olden American stuff, because this is set in like the 1920s. It kind of fits, and if you look at me, the way I'm dressing my avatar, my VTuber avatar, I'm dressed in a way where I'm sort of like celebrating, like lackadaisy in ways with the tie and everything. Look at me, I'm fancy dancy. But yeah, Lackadaisy is a show that it could be a head on head against Hasbin. I'm just saying, it just looks good. It looks nice. Hasbin is definitely gonna take it. I'm all about Hasbin Hotel, that's for sure. But for this one, it's nice. It's just like I've been wondering for mini pilots and stuff like that. Will it take over the anime community space? Because let me tell you, these animes are going crazy. They're getting popular, and they should. But at the same time, these pilots, these animations on YouTube, they could have a chance. Murder Drones, Lackadaisy, Hell of a Boss, Has Been, many other shows that I can't name at the moment. That potential is there. Next up, I also my Ruby. Speaking of American animation, Ruby, Volume 9. Did my my review for it, and let me tell you, I loved it. The Bumblebee has started. If you know, you know. Next is there's this other show that a lot of people are not talking about. I don't know why. Maybe it's fake. Maybe it's not. Crash Bandicoot 2023 on Netflix. That's what I call it. There's a Netflix show for Crash Bandicoot with the voices. That is not Crash. That is not Uka Uka. That is not freaking like Coco. I'm sorry. And of course, Cortex voice is easy to actually do. Oh, Crash. You spoiled my plans. Oh, okay. That was not my best Cortex impression, but you know what I mean. They happen to make one right here. Do I have anything else here? They happen to make one here, and pretty much like I'm still wondering about that new Crash game. Is that gonna be good? What is happening to Crash? What are they doing with him? Okay, was it? Listen, I heard a lot of bad things about Crash Bandicoot 4. It's About Time, I believe it's called something about time, and is this like the response for it? Like, hey, we can make it better. We can make it more exclusive. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't get it anymore. Anyways, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for watching and all that. I just want to say, most of you have been asking, like, hey, where's the... Speaking of Webtoon, happy April Fools. I'm recording this on April Fool's Day. Kind of crazy. But, yeah, April Fools, I don't celebrate April Fools. I don't even know what to show you. I was about to do a live stream, like, we're about to do a Facebook. I never done a live stream. Live streaming, for me, is going to be tricky doing it on YouTube because I never done it before, and any screw-ups can happen. But happy April Fools. Webtoon did this thing about like having a bunch of snacks and stuff like that for making their own website a snack vendor, which is kind of funny. And I don't know. I guess that's it. I'm going to Sack Anime. I'm excited. I just got my haircut and stuff like that. I'm about to get prepped up and get my clothes ready for the event. So if you're going to Sack Anime, let me know. Follow my Discord if you want to know details and stuff like that. or just, just let me know you gotta be there. I'm gonna announce it. I'm gonna announce it on the channel. Other than that, I'll see you when I see. I gotta upload these damn videos for y'all, and I'll see you when one love and a peace.